You know, before we get going, I want to tell you just an incredible amount of community outpouring we have seen on the heels of Hurricane Irene. And before we really get going, I want to make sure that everybody knows the thing that you can do best to help Ulster County right now is to come here, to stay here, to shop here. Ulster County is open for business. We have incredible historic sites, we have incredible heritage issues, we have wonderful arts communities all throughout Ulster County, spectacular places to go and to enjoy. So we encourage everyone to recognize that Ulster County is open for business. I think I might be going to Phoenicia for pancakes pretty soon. You know, and on a very personal note, I live in Hurley, I'm from New Paltz originally, and I work in uptown Kingston. If you think about it, when I walk from my house to go get a cup of coffee, I walk past multiple 300-year-old stone houses, some of the most beautiful historic places in our country. When I come to work, I see the old Dutch church, I see the Senate House, I see the courthouse where the New York State Constitution was signed. History is alive, right where we live, right among us. And in New Paltz, the stone houses of the Huguenots are a magnificent way for people to be able to see. And again, that's just the three simple places that we're talking about. And there is so much more across a county that is the size of Rhode Island. Okay, Cultural Heritage Week. To me, it's one of the most pivotal things that we can do is to highlight the great parts of Ulster County. This is one more step in that journey. Again, thank you to Tom Kernan. We really appreciate you, again, opening up the Senate House for us. It's a wonderful place. And I'm not going to let the cat totally out of the bag, but I will tell you something that we are all kind of collectively striving to do is to get a copy of the New York State Constitution and house it right here. This is a magnificent place, the birthplace of New York State's democracy, New York State government. Some would say this is the last place it actually functioned. But what I will say is this is an important part of all of our history. I'm also incredibly pleased, obviously, to be joined by my friend and the Ulster County Clerk and someone who has really helped keep history alive for her entire public career, and that is our County Clerk, Nina Postupack. We have the Director of Tourism, Rick Remsnyder, whose job it is to make sure everybody in the entire country knows that Ulster County is an amazing place to come. He's got a tough job. Yeah. Bob Lusk is with us today. The Heritage Folk Music program is going to be at Sojourner Truth. And let me see here where we have here. Oh, absolutely. We're far from done here. We're just warming up. One of the main reasons that people travel from around the world to Ulster County is because they want to get to know Ulster County and what it has to offer. Travelers interested in cultural heritage visit art galleries, theaters, museums, historic sites, communities and landmarks, cultural events, festivals and fairs, ethnic communities and neighborhoods, and architecture and archaeological treasures. That was pretty hard to say back to back. Believe it or not, 30% or 35.3 million adults say that a specific art, cultural, or heritage event or activity influenced their choice of destination. So that really speaks to just how important cultural heritage is and what we have to offer here. I've always said we are just touching the tip of the iceberg of what we have to be able to offer in Ulster County and making sure people are aware of just how special it is. Ulster County is the perfect destination for travelers interested in culture and history because Ulster County is alive with history. You know what? I don't need these remarks. I was born and raised here. This is literally the best place. One thing that I have people tell me time and time again as they come from around the country and around the world to visit us, you know what they tell me? I hope the people that live here understand just how amazing this place is. It is a spectacular place that you don't realize when you're from here oftentimes. There are folks that take for granted that they walk in the footsteps of Revolutionary War people, that they walk in the footsteps of people who fought slavery. To think that Sojourner Truth garnered the freedom of her son in our courthouse. This is right where we live. Literally where I grew up is the road she used to walk up to get to freedom. It's an amazing thought process when we think about where we live and the special place that we have. And when we think about culture, we should never be moved away from the fact that we have more artists per capita than any other part of the country. That speaks volumes about how we value that portion and what makes Ulster County so special. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Nina Postupack to come up here. Like I said, no one has worked harder to keep history alive in Ulster County. Nina?